Good morning, team. How are we doing? It is a grisly Monday morning here in England, and I just saw a spider crawl out of the corner of my little room there. Danny Brown's new album came out on Friday. It is called Quaranta, which means 40, and this was actually announced on my boy Rough Criminal's interview with DB. Now, DB already got an Album of the Year contender with JPEG Mafia in Scaring the Hose. Two singles from this so far, in Tantor and Jenn's Terrific Vacation, have been superb. Different, but superb. Listen, you know I love Danny Brown. As always, this video brought to you by the amazing people on my Patreon, patreon.com/JonDenton. Come watch this uncut, everything uncut, exclusives and early access on there as well. DB, Danny Brown, Quaranta. Let's do it. Quaranta. Quaranta.
This rap shit done saved my life and fucked it up at the same time. Got pain in my heart, I can't hide. A lot of trauma inside, you can see it in my eyes. Could've ended in...
It's unusual to hear him this clear. You know, obviously he's normally rapping in that crazy voice that he raps in and often speaks in, but to hear him deliberately, obviously, slow, measured, clear, really wanting to get his point across. Instrumental sounds like something from a Quentin Tarantino movie, which Quaranta kind of sounds like Quentin Tarantino, doesn't it? All squished together. Yeah, let's go.
On my own, gotta get to it. Came too far to right now just lose it. Lost everything in pursuit of my dream. Pushed everyone away, now no one here for me. Now all everyone do is ask. When you don't have, they just talk behind your back. Nigga, you 40 still doing this shit. When you gon' stop, but God gon' make you quit.
It's really interesting to hear Danny talk like that, you know. Interrupting this instrumental should be illegal, but I'm going to do it. Obviously, he's still 40, he's still doing this shit. Something I definitely relate to that part of the song, of course. It's a little bit strange for me to be here at that age doing this, but, you know, we just keep moving. We just keep existing. That's what life is. Yeah, I didn't realize how much loneliness that he'd been going through and the way he speaks on this song. You know, always seems like such a sort of happy, energetic guy, and you know that's often the case for people like that. They've got a lot of stuff going on underneath the surface that you don't know about. Terrific opener. The instrumental is crazy, and hearing Danny, like I said, rap like that is like you're gonna pay attention because he's normally so effervescent that you completely like attached to his crazy flow and crazy pocket. But sometimes you can't even understand what he's saying first listen. I'm quite tuned in, so I feel like I can. But that different. Very different style to it. Next track is Tantor, produced by The Alchemist. Amazing video. We've heard this already. I love it.
Reach one, teach one. Can show you to the water how you eat, son. We doctored in that low tide. Mexican homie named Chinese Mike. And the all black cutty, and he got that right. If you ain't got that green, then he might see red. But that problems at the door, then ask for me.
Finishing off with the Michael Scott sample. But we know it's 2 for 2 because Tantor was already fire.
Like a moth in the flame, when you burn, you learn. Rush to mistakes, but just wait your turn. Get what you need, what you want, you earn. When it's time, then it's time, but that ain't my concern. Like a moth in the flame, when you burn, you learn. It's a humble pie, look myself in the eye. You can never trust yourself when you're living a lie. Like a few of these rappers I know, always following trends. Never stick to the code. Back in the day, they sold for rock and roll. But with this rap shit, a nigga sell his booty hole. What you doing over there, we doing
Listen, Andre 3000, in his interview with GQ, said that he's 48 and he doesn't have anything to say. And I said on my little piece about that album that I released on Friday, that is totally understandable and totally fine. And if he doesn't feel like he has anything to say, then he shouldn't feel the need to have anything to say. But I think when you listen to this, hearing a man at 40, same age as me, Danny, 41, 42, there's a lot to say. You know, there's a lot to say about your life and your career in that moment. And maybe the young'uns don't care, but hip hop is very, very old now. I mean, realistically, it is. So there's a bunch of listeners my age, a bunch of listeners older than me, 10 years plus older than me, that will listen to somebody like this and get a lot out of it. Find a lot of it relatable, but find a lot of it very interesting to hear Danny talk like this. You know, I'm used to the Danny and Tantor. Obviously, we've had songs before where he's been a little bit calmer in his vocals, but here, 2 out of 3 tracks, much clearer, much slower, much more wanting to hammer home his points, I think. It's an interesting project so far. I think the cover art suits it. I think it's very mature, but still doesn't lose the essence of what it is to be a Danny Brown record. You know, it's challenging, it's experimental, but it's still very much a rap record so far anyway.
Looked in the mirror, started staring at myself, took myself on to get it, fuck everything else. Like a moth in the flame, when you burn, you learn. Rush to mistakes, but just wait your turn.
Beat is wild on the look up we did this one.
That ain't my concern.
Produced by Quellchris. I've never actually said that out loud, I don't think. Well, I'm sure I have. You know it is anyway. And Chris Keys. Yeah, wild instrumental, wild drums on this one. And yeah, kind of like musings on drugs and alcohol as well. Let's keep going. Like an evolution of that beat. Drums are fire on this album.
We doing this even without a record deal. Half the shit I say can be understood.
Yeah, same producers.
I'm from that crack rock. Find your drama where it rain. So what the fuck they gon' tell me about anything? Strap up, nigga, get your my raps like Tetris. Bars keep falling, gotta know where to place them. Smoke with Dave Chappelle, the nigga think I laced them. Knew it was the pack, he started talking about spaceship. Right, like it's the only. Try to put my finger in her like a rotary phone. If I take her for a spin, she would never come home. Put her hand behind her own head like Malone. I'm totally fucking awesome.
The beat's unbelievable. Lyrics fucking hilarious and brilliant at the same time. That put a hand behind her head line like Malone. It's just brilliant. Talk about Dave Chappelle. I remember Dave Chappelle talking about Danny Brown lacing him. I guess he's saying that he didn't. My rap's like Tetris. Bars keep falling, gotta know where to place him. Is fucking superb. Yeah, I mean, this is so very much my cup of tea. I mean, that shouldn't come as a surprise, but fucking superb so far. It's superb, like.
Give me my portion or end with a sourcing. Burn that so I can metamorphic. Spitting on forces, rather for a mortgage. For a bowl of porridge, I put you in the orbit. My nigga did a big, just got beat. I started counting up my confit. The way I get put up and beat is good, the shit is not fair. Sorta make you think with this ink like a hot chair. Like easy.
Well, it's an easy 4 for 4. It's fucking great so far.
Do it. What? When we change the channel with the plies, wet clothes on the porch, we ain't have a dry. Spending food stamps, wait till you leave the stove. Too many in the bed, had to sleep on the floor. Cause my cousin always pee, getting whipped in the morning. Every night, can't sleep, got me tossing and turning. Late night, and they only go to church when someone die. Kids raising kids, all trying to be grown. Things never fix when we come from broken homes. We was young, black and poor, being raised in Detroit.
Detroit City, that's where I live. Feels like poetic justice, you get killed at the drive-in. Who gon' find you some work? Who gon' find you some work? We be fresh from the dirt, put you on a t-shirt. Wanna run like Barry, shoot like Zeke, but in the hood with a 9 on me like Rodney Peak.
Now, I have heard Bruiser Wolf before, so I'm not completely thrown by his crazy style. I haven't heard him for ages, and I did actually forget what he sounds like. That first verse, the beat's fantastic. Listen, I think that's just going to be a given. Skywalker and Casa Overall on this one. Casa Overall's on the drums, I believe, on the Jenn's Vacation track. Danny with a mad, super vivid little rundown of his time as being a little kid. Growing up in Detroit, sort of a bunch of snapshots that pieces together really quickly over the beat, which is sort of striking and shocking. And then the chorus, a hook, bringing it all together. Yeah, this is a deeply, deeply personal, a deeply mature record. But like I said, it doesn't lose the essence of what Danny Brown is. When you put on a Danny Brown record, you expect some madness. There's a reason, the Peggy album earlier in this year is so crazy, and Danny Brown's such a perfect compliment to him because you know what you're getting. But this doesn't lose anything of what he is as an artist or a rapper, but I feel like I'm just learning more about him. I as somebody of a similar age as well, and the age doesn't matter, but I love the fact that he's kind of opening up like this.
Hey, they wanna be us when they grown, but ask them why. Be out like Butch Jones. My city show no love. It's hard to fit in the murder mitten like OJ.
That line, it's hard to fit in the murder mitten like OJ's glove. Murder mitten. I didn't realize Michigan, which sounds a bit like mitten, is also shaped a bit like a mitten. People refer to it as that. Obviously, Detroit being in Michigan, and obviously OJ's glove famously, it didn't fit in the hand. That was one of the reasons that he was able to get off. So yeah, mad bar from Bruiser Wolf.
Where the heart is, but where's the love? Feeling lost in the world, they don't care about us.
Beautiful.
Back to the wall, we ain't had no plan. Everything about the city made me who I am. You can make it hit, yeah, you know the rest. Every day was like a test. If you fail, it's death. Or but it don't add up. Take away from the hood, never giving back to us. How the system made the vision, but it don't add up. Take away from the hood, never giving back to us.
This already feels, given the subject matter of Jenn's terrific vacation, which is about gentrification in Detroit, already feels like a compliment to that. This is much more than I was expecting from a Danny Brown album. That's unfair. That really is unfair, because if you actually go and listen to the lyrics of a lot of his songs, he does really get into things sometimes, but it's just sort of track after track after track, the way it's sequenced, the way that I just feel like an artist that I've listened to for years, and I'm just getting to know that much more about him. And he's an artist, he's out there as well. Obviously, he's got his podcast, and, you know, he does interviews and Twitch and everything, but to hear him like this, I think it's really... I don't know, I'm just connecting with it personally. Actually, I don't care about anybody else's reaction to it. I'm connecting to it. You know, despite obviously extremely different circumstances. I'm not here being brought up in the murder mitten. Hearing the story from Bruiser Wolf as well. How's the system made the vision, but it don't add up? The system, the structure of America in particular, but probably everywhere, you know, it creates division between races, division between classes, division between sexes. We know how all of that goes. You can never learn what I've been taught. Very similar to the moth to a flame. So you learn to get burnt, or whatever he said in that previous song. It's all about his own experiences.
Who's that people in my window? I don't really know what they here for. On the corner just for the Starbucks. I was just looking for a come up. Tell me what they do when I'm black and slow, when I'm money that low, but the rent rise up. White folks coming at the blue, they done tore that down and made that to a Whole Foods. Landlords looking for a payday. Numbers when the scooters where we used to slang, yeah.
I just realized how stupid I am that I didn't pick up until this second. Jenn's terrific vacation. Sounds like gentrification. Oh my god. Oh well.
Where you gonna go?
Cameras on the corner, now they feel safe. Rumble Hut have a field day. Damn, they made that a dog park. Household pussy right there like Walmart. Rent down when I bought a stacked out. A big chain notice on a franked out. I call the street built new condos. Talk about 3 G's for a 2-bedroom. They all looking for a payday.
Drums just unbelievable on this track.
Who's that? People in my window. I don't really know what they care about.
What the fuck I'm supposed to do now? All alone, now I'm feeling like a clown. Should've listened to my homie when he told me slow down. Thought I knew everything, but don't know shit. That's why I'm so sick. Lost in my emotion, the path that I chosen. Left a nigga broken, can't stay focused. Down with me, but to me, she was down to get me. Help me out in this shit. Now realizing that I love her. I had a woman down with me. Belong to the streets, thought that I was on the creep. Now I feel like a creep. World fell apart ever since you left. Fucked up bad, now I blame myself. Lost the only one that loved me, these hoes don't care. Got too deep in my depression, hoping I can get over. I had a woman down with me, but to me, she was down to get me.
Damn, man, listen to this is a very raw track.
Now realizing that I love her. Realizing that I love her. Now realizing that I love her.
Yeah, in every instrumental's basically been a 10 so far on this album. Superb track. I've got
If I knew you.
basically got nothing to fault on this album. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to fault at all. So far, I think I'm enjoying it more than You Know What I'm Saying, which is now I haven't gone back to a huge amount, although there's some fucking great tunes on there. This just feels so, I feel like I'm just like deeply connected to everything that he's saying. I feel like this is a rare invitation into somebody's true thoughts, true feelings. You know, there's a lot of like confessional music out there. There's a lot of like music where people sort of put themselves out there a little bit, but are they really? This really feels genuine. This really feels real. And I think it's because it's a bit of a left field thing for Danny Brown, or at least our own perceptions of what Danny Brown is. Perhaps it makes it feel a bit more profound in that respect. But we've got 4 tracks to go. We've got Mike on this one. I'm just expecting more in-depth stuff. And it actually makes me think, do I need to go back and spend timed properly with that Tantor track, because the video is him dressed as this fucking robot and the instrumentation so crazy from Alchemist. I never really listened to exactly what he was saying, but every other track has been really deep. So that makes me think that track has actually probably got some depth to it as well.
If I knew you, I would send you to the stove. Pulled up in the Porsche, playing Kenny Lattimore. It's the matador, metaphors, you're wrong like the letter for. In the Chevy looking like somebody told me something. Talking to your big homies like they owe me something. I ain't got time, bitch, I'm rolly hunting. If you ain't getting money, what the fuck is you around for? I used to sell a bit, but I don't fuck around no more, I'm celibate. Had me trapped in that celibate. Locked up with some pimps, told me sell a bit. Tuition telling me you're fucking with me, you're wishing. Out of place like carpet in the kitchen. I'm in something, ain't got no ignition. Get attention like two hoes kissing. With they lips poked out like what you talk about, Willis. It's a long way up and a short trip down. I'ma let you get your turn, but not right now. I used to sell a bit, but I don't fuck around no more, I'm celibate.
I had to pull a blessing out the sky, my empty is. While all his blessings in disguise, keep finessing him. I hope the lessons stick. I'm giving pressure to them guys, niggas gelatin. I keep the premises alive. And believers invested in the bribe and the friendliness. Only one to question me was God and the Federate. I be saying less like I forgot. Fuck your regiment.
You sell a bitch.
Yeah. Another killer track. Really?
You ain't fucking with these clowns, right? How you like me now? Got a boss up and shake down. Get your head up the clouds, gotta go and get it now. Got a boss up and shake down. Where you get your lotion from? It's the way you know me from. Ballin' like it's open run. Never hold no phone on myself and point a loaded gun. No flash, no stacks. Cool with that. Pose wearing clothes, shit you don't even know. Say she want me for my money, even that ain't enough. Say she done living lies, well, who can I trust? Every ball suck and shake down. Get your head up the clouds, gotta go and get it now.
Smoother track, less intense on instrumental.
Always question everything, but you had all the answers. Everything my fault, thought that luck could be bought. It was all sugar till it turned to salt. Felt like I was trapped until I got caught. Thought I fucking with these clowns, right? How you like me now? Got a boss up and shake down. Get your head up the clouds, gotta go and get it now. Got a boss up and shake down.
Yeah, I think that was my least favourite track on the album on first listen, but still smooth. Interesting second verse. I think he's talking about him fucking up as well, cheating on his missus, and how ultimately it was just a big mistake, you know, how he didn't know what he's had until he fucked it up. So that's obviously a through line in the album and something that is obviously hitting deep. And I mean, I'm kind of repeating myself now, but it is a really interesting, truly introspective album. We talk about introspective albums all the time, like Drake, you know, gets called introspective, and that is true. But I think this is probably the most introspective rap album I've heard that I can think of since Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which, you know, really does go deep into therapy and psyche and all that sort of stuff. There are plenty of albums where people talk about some of the roughness of their past, but they don't go into how they're feeling about it now and how they're processing it now. I think Kendrick did. I think Danny's doing, I was going to say, a better job, maybe. I think I'm enjoying this first listen more than I enjoyed that first listen.
They say age catching up, so I'm running from death. I done walked through the fire, tripping on heaven steps. Gotta keep shit moving, time won't stand still. Moving on with my life, can't cry when the milk spill. Rapper have writer's block, might be out on the block. Didn't sign up for this, it's like I'm punching the clock. Even with all the stress, a nigga still feel blessed. Could've ended right there on them Claremont steps. Even got no choice when the rent due. Know some homie taking penitentiary chances. Don't wanna do it, but they kids need Pampers. With all the stress, a nigga still feel blessed. Could've ended right there
it's
on
really
the Claremont steps. Time wait for no.
I mean, beat amazing. Again, mood amazing, but it's really interesting to hear Danny talk about feeling like rapping had just become a job where he's punching a clock and he has writer's block and he doesn't really feel it and he never thought they would get to that point, and is it worth continuing? On a rap album of this caliber, on a year where he has been producing high caliber raps. So that's really interesting to hear, isn't it? Maybe it's because he holds himself to such a high standard with his raps. Maybe just because he's been doing it so long and he's a creative person and he has lots of different interests perhaps. And, but this is the thing he needs to keep doing to make rent or, to keep up with life. I just feel appreciative for this album because I really feel like, having someone like Danny Brown let us in like this, you know what I mean? Like, he's just being open and raw, but it's not like, some people go raw and they just go bleed all over the floor, and that's okay, but it's like, what am I supposed to fucking do with this? Like, it's a bit much. But it doesn't feel like Danny's just throwing everything out there he needs to just get off his chest. It feels like he's in the process of processing it. He's dealing with stuff. He's talking, talk about regret, talk about sobriety, talk about, how he's processing past trauma here. We're getting a more refined version, and then combined with these incredible instrumentals, and I think it makes it actually hit harder because ultimately, when somebody says something shocking about their past or something, it can be really impactful, but like I say, you don't really know what to do with that fucking information. It can just feel shocking. Whereas here, I feel like, well, we as an audience can learn from what Danny's saying, but you can't learn just from what he's saying because he actually says this specifically multiple times in the album. You need to have felt your own feelings. You need to have been burnt by the flame yourself.
Get time back, time at the time.
And B, listen, it's a good project when I'm approaching, an hour into the recording on a 30-minute album.
That's my shit. Play it one more again. Play it one more again. Remember back when it was hard for me to sleep, running home from school, loose ends on blast. Tying up loose ends, running low on cash. Pops been gone a week, now she paging my dad. Came in with some pieces like nothing ain't happened. That's my shit. Play it one more again. Play it one more again. How? Mama played them classic tunes right on the station. Hiding from the beat, the song never end. It don't never matter till we play it again. And them said everything I felt, everything that I want. Play another song, let the music talk for us. Have us shedding tears before we get to the chorus. Play another song, let the music talk for us. Have us shedding tears before we get to the chorus. Hold up, that's my shit. Play it one more again. Play it one more again.
Fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. So just a magnificent first listen. Me going into it thinking I'm going to get craziness from beginning to end, and instead get one of the best introspective rap albums I've heard, and I just felt connected to it and Danny in a way. And I think it's an age thing. I think it's because we're the same age, and I've been working on similar things, I guess, like sobriety, dealing with issues, dealing with past traumas, all of these sorts of things that I think so important to do, but especially when you get to our age, like life becomes very apparent that it's not forever, it realistic still, hopefully, touch wood, plenty of time left, but also you want to make the most of that, and in order to do that you need to sort yourself out. So thank you to Danny, man, for putting himself out there on record like that, but making it so like exquisite to listen to. I'm going to be playing this a lot. A real juxtaposition, isn't there, between this and Scaring a Hose, which is wild between two of them. Crazy production, just an absolute assault on the ears in the best possible way. Whereas this is almost like, just being invited in, like an invited guest into Danny's heart. But still, like, he just has the high standards for himself to make sure everything's still musically like immaculate. And I just think we're dealing with and listening to a truly, truly great artist, a truly great creative, and somebody that, it's not that I didn't think he was capable of that, because I think he's capable of doing anything. I just wasn't expecting it to be so poised. Bravo. Kudos to Danny, and I look forward to listening to the album again. I'm really keen to get your thoughts down in the comments. If you're still here at the end of the outro, I know a lot of people jump off, but the real ones are here, so let me know down in the comments. Stick a real one down in the comments if you made it all the way to the end and I'm listening to me still talking my shit. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe. Come on, let's get them numbers up. We're chasing a 500 up in here. All right, thank you so much. I'll catch you soon. Peace.